he's got some pain, man. He looks like his chair looks like it's in pain as he's sitting on that thing.
Oh, my chair looks like it's in pain from me sitting on it, and look at this delusional fat ass over here. Look at him, his chair's in pain. Well, you know what? I think your family might be in pain. When his wife inevitably divorces him and takes the kids because he's not supporting her, I'll let her stay in my spare bedroom. Hey, Joey, what happened? Who's talking about you with James Lynch? We're going to talk about it in a little bit. We'll talk about it like maybe like 15, 20 minutes into the stream, something like that. Because a lot of people have asked me about this. A lot of people have sent this to me. And we'll get into it. It's going to be a fun stream. I guarantee you that. This will be a stream you guys will remember forever. I'll tell you that much. MMA-Holes have no arguments against Joey's takes. He got triggered by someone pretending to be Joey in his comment section and went straight to fat jokes. What a scrub. Well, it's about time to get in that. Well, I'm gonna catch up on the chat real quick and then we'll get into it. Okay. So now everyone has arrived. Now that everybody has arrived, we'll get into what all you guys want to hear about. Because plenty of people, I would say over a dozen people sent this to me. Joey, what do you make of this? What do you make of this? So for those of you who do not know, and probably a lot of you guys do not because you probably don't follow that particular channel, but a horrible MMA YouTube channel. And I usually don't like talking down on anyone else or anybody else's channel. My channel, and the reason I never really like to say anything bad about people is because my channel, I want it built around MMA discussion, okay? Could I go after people? Could I go after their takes? Could I shit on them? Could I tear them down? Could I pull up their videos and go through it sentence by sentence, comb through it and just shit on them and probably grow significantly faster? Could I pump out hot takes left and right and grow significantly faster? Probably. But that's not the way I want to build my channel. That's not what I want to build about my channel. That's not what I want to do on this channel. In life, this isn't just me putting on a persona on a live stream or videos. I wish everyone nothing but success. Unless there's a reason that I think somebody's a scumbag, history, whatever, there's no way that I am ever thinking about it and plotting and hoping the downfall of somebody else, okay? Now, with that being said, because these certain things were said about me and thrown in my direction on James Lynch's channel, and so many people sent it to me, and so many people were saying, Joey, what are you going to have to say about this? I feel the need that I have to finally respond to some clown-ass comments like I don't normally do. And I hate to, go off on some like Ariel Helwani MMA Hour-esque diatribe, but we're going to get deep into it because I really would like to break it down, not only from a fact, angle. Let's talk about the facts of what actually happened. I also want to look at it from just the psychology of some of these people here because it's actually really embarrassing if you really look at it. So what happened today? And again, I hate even doing this because I wish everybody nothing but success. But James Lynch had the MMA-Holes on his live stream, his weekly live stream. I've gone on it before. He had them on his live stream. Now, apparently what happened during this live stream at some point, the MMA-Holes brought me up and started talking shit about me. And we're going to get into what specifically they said, and we're going to react to it because I'm going to have a good time with this. But essentially what you have is the backstory between me and the MMA-Holes that he told on the stream, and we're going to get to it here in a second.
Flashback.
Let me tell you something, James. I'm going to tell you a quick story over here. I know it's not a drama channel, but when we first went over there and rated him, I actually sent him a bunch of subscribers, and I was very kind about it. And it came after I made fun of him. So I said he sounded like Kermit the Frog. It wasn't the worst thing in the world, right? I was like, he sounded like Kermit the Frog. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to be nice. I'm going to send people over there. We rated him. We were very cordial. He was very nice about it. Then the fat bastard jumps into my chat like a little Karen, and he's like, I can't believe you said shit like that. This and that. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Go eat a cheeseburger. Get out of here. And I fucking booted him. And then all of a sudden, he was a fucking toxic mess. Did you see the tweet he said about us? Dying channel, repeating other people's lines, the fat bastard.
End of flashback.
But the backstory between me and them is, I was streaming back when I had like 1,000 subs, maybe 2,000 subs. I don't remember how many subs. And they came into my chat, right? And they're, oh, MMA-Holes, blah, 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 and all this stuff in there. And I barely knew of their existence. I still barely know of their existence. And what happened was I was like, oh, thank you. That's awesome. Thank you. They were being nice. All cool, whatever. I'm like, oh, cool, thanks. Blah, blah, blah. Just being nice. Anyway, everything's cool. Everything's great. I'm like, oh, this channel's just showing me some support. And I do that nowadays. I'll find somebody with like a couple hundred subs. I'll send some support their way just to help them build their channel. I'm like, oh, these guys are doing the same thing. They must be nice people. Then what happened is after I ended my stream, someone messages me and sends me a clip and they're like, dude, they were just trashing you the whole time. They were just trashing you. So apparently what had happened was he came into the stream, was trashing me, was talking shit. Oh, look at this guy. I don't remember what he was saying. It was fat jokes, stuff like that. Don't really care about it all, but it was just trashing me. And the way when I saw that, I'm like, damn, that's kind of annoying because here I am like, hey, thanks guys, appreciate it. Thanks for your support. And then meanwhile, if you go back and look at the other side, they're like, oh yeah, look at this fat ass sitting here talking about MMA, doesn't know shit with his 1K subscriber YouTube channel. And I'm like, damn, that's kind of petty. That's really petty. And so I was like, well, you know what? It is what it is. I don't take offense to anything really. But I'm like, I'm gonna pop in his chat real quick. I'm just gonna send him a message. So I sent him one message in his chat. And I don't remember exactly what I said. Maybe he can dig it up. I don't know. For actual evidence, I don't have the evidence of what I said. But it was something along the lines of, it is really weird to pop into another YouTube channel that is much smaller than you and pretend to be nice and instead talk shit in front of your 60,000 subscribers and 75 live viewers. And essentially what I was doing there was I was taking a jab at their audience, I was saying, look, you got all these subscribers, you only got this many live viewers, this is embarrassing. But it was just me, like, okay, you talked a little bit of shit about me, let me go in, pump a little jab at you, and then that's the end of it. I don't care. It is what it is. People make jokes all the time. I don't care. I'm not offended. But I'm like, at least I gotta go get a dig back now that I know they were talking shit. Immediately blocked me off the thing. Never ever thought of it again, didn't care about it, didn't even talk about it really. Didn't mention it on my channel, didn't bring them up, I don't care, okay? The only other interaction I've had with them, and I'm gonna pull it up right now, I have it right here, hold on, let me go, I had to go dig it out of Twitter, was I had an interaction with them on Twitter. because I want you guys to know the actual real story. I don't want you guys some fantasy world story that is being told online. Okay, so here's essentially the tweet, okay? So the tweet was Cody Durden was tweeting at O'Day Osborne, and he said, "You're a joke, O'Day Osborne. You want to fight? You're shook. That's why you're fighting a debut. I guess you're fighting a debutant and not me is what he meant. But he said you're fighting a debut and not me. Shut your mouth and do as you're told. I'm real competition winners. Keep talking on IG. Maybe one day we'll meet and I'll split your watermelon wide open." That's what Cody Durden said to O'Day Osborne. I don't like Cody Durden because he's always like fantasizing about other grown men performing sexual acts on other grown men. He's always talking about it. So I responded and I said, he probably doesn't want to fight you because you spend all your time obsessing about other grown men performing sexual acts on other grown men. Because Cody Durden is just constantly bringing up the Jeff Molina situation. I just think that's bizarre. And so I was like, oh, I see this guy on my timeline. Let me just call him out a little bit. The MMA-Holes respond, okay? They said, how dare Cody make jokes about grown men blowing other grown men? Such a despicable move. They're clearly trolling, clearly a joke. Ha ha, so funny, whatever. So I thought, oh, here's a joke here. Let me pump a little joke back. Let me throw a little jab back. I don't care. You know, I'm not sensitive like some people. And I say, agreed. He could definitely use his time better. Maybe he should start a dying YouTube channel and make jokes about grown men performing sexual acts on each other live and use graphics from 1997. I'm sure he could get 70,000 subscribers and at least 47 live viewers. Again, taking a jab at them, but all in good fun, just talking a little bit of shit. You know, it is what it is. So now, fast forward, that was the first interaction on the live stream thing. I want to say that was a year and a half ago, maybe. I can't say for sure. So anyway, James Lynch invites this guy on his live stream today. And before I get into the actual MMA holes, let's talk about James Lynch for a second. I think he's a good guy. And I hate to even say anything bad about him because I just don't feel right, because I do believe at his heart he's a good guy. But what I saw during this live stream, the brief period that I watched this live stream for maybe 5-6 minutes, is, for lack of a better word, a pussy. And I hate to say that, but I don't say anything I wouldn't be willing to say to him. Because what I saw was one grown man who happens to be maybe 50 years old, I'm assuming maybe 50, 45 years old, with red hair. You know, I'm just describing him, you know, I'm not just talking about James. What I saw there was him bring me up unprompted and begin to shit on me.
Flashback.
From the fans, because that's what I had with Guru. Was a lot of his fans saying he said this about you and all this, and then it's, you know,
it's playful banter with him. MMA Joey, on the other hand, my God, James, what is up with this guy? This guy.
Yeah, you guys. I honestly, I think if you guys want, I don't think. Well, first off, I don't know if we could ever get you guys on a stream together. Maybe I'll be the Canadian UN guy to kind of make peace here. But look, like Joey and I disagree on a bunch of stuff. I tell him all the time. I think he's obsessed with Colby Covington.
He's obnoxious and he's a pompous asshole. Like he thinks like he's a delusional fat fuck. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's not many people I dislike on YouTube. Dude, that guy he's got some pain, man. He looks like his chair looks like it's in pain as he's sitting on that thing. I don't know what's going on,
man. Come on, listen, MMA Joey, he's good. Trust me, if you know me well enough, which I do, he's good people. I honestly think if you guys sat down and talked, this whole thing would be over.
End of flashback.
You know, again, I don't want to shit on James because I understand he felt uncomfortable, and I understand maybe he isn't built like that. He can't stand up to people like that, and he couldn't say, you know what? Because if that was me, if I had someone on I consider James a friend, somebody starts talking about, I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. I'm friends with this person. I don't want to hear you talk shit about him. Do it with your wife at home. Do it with your family. Do it with your other friends. Don't talk shit about my friend right here to my face, unprompted for no reason, without even a legitimate gripe. So I just think that's just kind of pussy behavior to begin with, but I understand everyone's not built like that. Everyone's not able to just stand up for themselves and deal with awkward situations. So I don't want to harp on that too much. There's really not hard feelings there, but it was just a bit embarrassing. And then the part about Colby Covington, threw that in there, and it was almost like, oh, we disagree on that. I think he's obsessed with Colby. I don't really have a problem with that statement as a whole, even though it's factually inaccurate. But the fact that, okay, this guy clearly doesn't like me. This guy's clearly insulting me. And then you're like, yeah, this guy's obsessed with Colby. I know all about him. And then you add a layer onto it that the MMA-Holes, from what I've seen, somebody told me and showed me and sent me, we're talking shit about James not that long ago. We're talking shit about him hardcore for like 10, 15 minutes. Somebody told me this. And now not only are they talking shit about you, you're inviting them on your channel to then talk shit about someone who's never said a bad word about you ever. Ever said a bad word about you, would defend you against somebody if somebody did the same. And then meanwhile, you're like, oh yeah, he's obsessed with Colby. Like that just doesn't sit right with me. And again, I'm not a person who can sit here and pretend. I can't sit here and lie and be like, oh yeah, that was James handled it perfectly and it was great, because I want to shift the main attention to MMA-Holes. But as far as the whole Colby thing, you know, and now he's gonna think I'm even more obsessed with him because I'm bringing it up here. But the reason he thinks I'm obsessed with Colby is because him in particular, and a lot of MMA media members and a lot of other social media MMA fans, the MMA community as a whole, pretend that Colby Covington is a draw. Based on the evidence, and I'm not going to go through every piece of the evidence that I have. Based on the evidence, it is not proven that Colby is a substantial draw. Me and James talked about this on his live stream. So when I hear that, I've then debunked it promptly afterwards. And James has an emotional attachment to Colby because Colby does interviews with him. Colby's cool off camera. And so he's almost defensive of Colby. Meanwhile, I just look at all these fighters cold-blooded. You know, there's very few fighters that I'm genuinely emotionally attached to. There's very few. Robbie Lawler was one of them. Anderson Silva was one of them. Jose Aldo. I don't think genuinely right now there's not one fighter I can say I'm super emotionally attached to, let alone hate and despise, you know, that I'm obsessed with them. First off, Colby Covington doesn't have a ranked win against a current ranked welterweight. It does not exist right now. He does not have a single win on his resume against a current ranked welterweight. He is not a substantial draw, as proven against Jorge Masvidal, sold under 400K pay-per-view buys, and he hasn't fought since March of 2022. What is there to be obsessed about? I don't care. He's irrelevant, you know? But the talk of the title shot, of course I'm going to talk about it recently. For the last year, I haven't been talking about it because it hasn't existed. Now all of a sudden he's getting an undeserved title shot. Of course I'm going to bring it up. So I just thought that was a weird thing to throw in there. But I understand he's trying to diffuse the situation. He's trying to be like, play both sides a little bit. But I just think when you have a guy who's already, he's talked shit about you, you're inviting him on your program, and you're essentially rim jobbing him. Then somebody who really supports you and will go to bat for you, you're like, oh yeah, we have disagreements all the time, and he's obsessed with, I'm just trying to use a different voice to kind of quote him. I'm not trying to make fun of him or anything. It just rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. It just rubbed me the wrong way. And then I got everyone sending it to me. You seen this? You seen James saying this? You seen MMA-Holes doing this? And then you get to the part about the MMA-Holes, which the MMA-Holes launched into this attack unprompted, maybe 3 minutes, 4 minutes, I don't remember exactly, but essentially just insulting me repeatedly, okay? And I'm a grown man. I can handle insults. I told you, if you guys knew the group of friends that I hang out with, it's nothing but insults 24/7, okay? And let me just say this. I'm the best at it, okay? I'm the best at it because it's not possible to get me mad. It's not possible to offend me. It's not possible to upset me. So, I can deal with that. But this guy goes out of his way to attack one grown man, to go out of his way to attack another grown man that he does not even know. And then I can deal with the insults. But it's the fact that he lied about the story. He kind of told partial truth, but he didn't tell the full truth. And he basically said, look, I sent him subscribers. I had made some offhanded comments. And then he started trolling me and this and that. I never trolled him, not once. I sent him one message, maybe 2 messages. I don't really remember. It was like 1 message, I think. I'm pretty sure it was 1 message, but it might have been 2. Basically just saying, why are you talking shit about me to your, 50K subscribers, 60K subscribers, and, 70 live viewers? That's essentially what I've told you previously was the entire story. So then he misrepresents the story and says, look, I sent him subscribers. I sent him love. I think he said cordial, and he got angry. He was so mad, and this guy's in so much pain. And then he starts to go on the ad hominem attacks where, oh yeah, it looks like his chair's in pain too, and blah, blah, blah. But the story that he told is factually inaccurate. It is just completely inaccurate. I have no reason to lie about this. I have no reason to lie to you guys. He told the story wrong. He told the story wrong. The story that I told you is 100% correct. I had 2 interactions with the guy over the past 3 years, and for some reason, that just got so far up his ass. He's like, oh, let me bring him up on James Lynch's live stream. Yeah, let me bring him up. I'm pretty sure they had negative viewers. Bringing MMA-Holes on a live stream or whoever, I don't even know what his name is, but bringing him, the ginger guy on live stream, I'm pretty sure they get you negative viewers. Honestly, I'm pretty sure people are unsubscribing because of that guy. So now that we got through the part of the story where he essentially lies about it, one thing I've always said on this channel is when you can't attack someone's arguments, or you can't, insult someone based on merit, you don't have legitimate reasons to attack someone, whether it be, they said this, they said that, and break it down and actually tell the truth. What you do is then in turn attack their appearance. That's what you do. You attack their appearance because you have nothing better to say. He can't say I'm stupid. He can't say, oh, look, he said this and he's so wrong about this and he's such an idiot and he did this and he did that and it's so dumb. He can't say any of that because it doesn't exist. He can't attack me on a merit of an argument. There's nothing there. He's grasping at nothing. So what he does is attack my appearance instead, which again, I don't mind the attacks, and I didn't even mind the initial attacks that he had on me. I don't care about that. My main problem with that from the beginning is I was acting all nice under the guise that this guy was being nice to me, and now I look like a fool because I was acting nice to a guy who was essentially clowning me on the other end of the line. That's the way I took it. And then on top of that, what's really annoyed me is there is people out there attempting to create content, attempting to create YouTube channels who don't have the thick skin that I have, that can't take the insults like I can take the insult. I don't care, okay? There's people out there that are soft. There's people out there that can't take the heat, that can't take the jokes, that can't take the attacks on your appearance. And imagine I was one of those guys. Imagine I'm one of those guys. I'm trying to start my MMA channel. I want to talk about MMA. And I got some dude who has 60K subs, 50K subs. I don't remember what it was at the time. I don't even know what it is right now. Imagine then you're attacking that person. Imagine you're attacking a young James Lynch who can't handle the heat, who can't handle the insults, who can't handle the personalized insults on your appearance. And they're like, oh man, now I don't want to run my YouTube channel anymore because I got this big channel attacking me and making fun of me. There's people out there like that. And for me, that's just a bully. That's just a bully mentality to treat somebody like that you don't even know. You will never see me go out of my way to be rude to anyone else. Not in real life if you knew me in real life, not in a virtual world online. It's just not something I do. So that's why I took a problem with it, because I thought, what if I'm one of these other guys who's really soft, who can't handle it? I might have closed down my channel, be like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm tired of the online criticism. All because some clown who's 50 years old, he looks about 50, he looks maybe 45, I don't know how old he is, but to go out of his way to insult somebody with 1,000 subscribers for no reason, and then to continue to do it again and again as that channel continues to grow, what are the motives behind this? I think the motives behind this is jealousy. I'm going to be honest, I think the motives behind this is jealousy. And now that we've covered it from a fact standpoint, we've covered it, we've debunked the lies, we've gone through each kind of individual statement. He's calling me a fat ass. He's saying, oh, my chair looks like it's in pain from me sitting on it. And I think he said, I'm trying to remember everything he said. He said, this guy's a delusional fat ass. Now we got through all the comments and I've debunked kind of what he said. And I've said what he said is factually incorrect. Why don't we get to insulting him a little bit? This is a 45-year-old man with what appears to be the most crackhead-esque tattoos I've ever seen. I would like to give him a little bit of advice. If you're going to get tattoos from a meth head, pay them the meth afterward. And then on top of that, this is a damn near 50-year-old man, 50-year-old ginger man with a faux hawk jumping on stream each and every night, acting like a clown. From what I've seen about maybe 10 minutes total of his content. It is the most disgusting, cringy, awful content I've ever seen, with graphics from about, it looks like 1997, but it might be prior to that. It is horrible. This guy has not evolved with the times. And I understand that maybe he's put in a lot of work and he's put in the years and he sees other people and he's like, you know what? I'm watching these other people grow, and I'm seeing them get subscribers. I'm seeing them build a community. And then, wait a second, I got 60,000 subs. This guy's got 10, and he gets the same amount he's got the same amount of live viewers as me. What kind of fucking clown am I? My life might be coming to an end. And I think what this really stems from, and I may or may not have a bachelor's degree in psychology, okay? I think what this stems from is he's miserable in his life, okay? I think what it is, he's miserable in his life. I think his YouTube channel is failing. I don't think he has the income that he would like to have from his channel, and he's got a family to support. I mean, honestly, before this, insult attack on James Lynch's show, I would have considered maybe I grow to 20,000 subs, 30,000 subs. I would have maybe thought about starting a GoFundMe page for him. What he's doing on his channel is barely paying the bills. So I think he's just scraping by. He's seeing younger guys who know more about the sport, who are just better and clearer at describing the sport and discussing the sport and formulating takes based on fact-based information. And he's seeing these people have success and making money. And I'm not even saying I'm necessarily one of these people. I'm just kind of starting out and starting to have my success. And I think he's miserable about that. I think he looks at other people, whether it be, MMA Guru or Lucas or the Weasel, or I don't know, Weasel's been around forever. And I think he looks at these people and I think he's like, what the fuck am I going to do? I'm 50 years old. I'm not making any money. I got a family. I got a wife and family. And I think he's got kids, and I think he's miserable at home. I think he's freaking out. And I think he's like, what? Let me insult some dude who has a very low subscriber count, and let me just attack him. And I think I'm going to have my way. I'm going to bully this guy. And for him to go out of his way to say, oh, this delusional fat ass. Look, I'm going to tell you guys right now. Okay, I may be fat. All right, I'm not the healthiest. But guess what? If me and that guy were sentenced to prison together and we were in the same cell, that guy would be my bitch. And to go out of your way to then act as if I've done some crazy, like, you would think I've been harassing this guy for months. If I've harassed this guy for months, I would understand. Okay, I understand he's fuming. He wants to get, but to bring me up unprompted and attack me when we've had 2 interactions over the past 2 years, I think that's embarrassing, especially as a mid-40s, 50-year-old man. Maybe he's older. Maybe he looks young for his age. Maybe he's 60, because he looks about 50 years old to me. To go on there with meth head-esque tattoos and a ginger faux hawk, be like, yeah, look at this delusional fat ass over here. Look at him. His chair's in pain. Well, you know what? I think your family might be in pain, because you obviously aren't paying the bills. I guarantee right now, he can say what he wants about my YouTube channel, about my income from my YouTube channel. I guarantee I make more money per year than that guy. You know what? When his wife inevitably divorces him and takes the kids because he's not supporting her, I'll let her stay in my spare bedroom. That's bound to happen. When you're that miserable and you're that disturbed that you're just lashing out at random people that have no problem with you, that wish you nothing but success, you need to see a psychologist. You really need to see somebody. You need to discuss that, because the guy is clearly a ticking time bomb. This is what I can genuinely tell from 3 to 4 minutes of watching him and watching the way he's acting. The guy is a ticking time bomb. He's clearly upset with life. He's clearly miserable. Honestly, when the YouTube inevitably fails, which it already has pretty much for him, and I understand he's been working on it for, however many years, 4, 5, 6 years, I don't know, 10 years maybe, I don't know, maybe he was super early in the game. When it does inevitably fail, I feel so much sympathy on this guy. If he wants to move to Maryland, if he wants to come to Baltimore, I will get him a job. It's not going to be well paying, but it'll be more, I'll tell you right now, it'll be more well paying than running the MMA-Holes YouTube channel. I'm assuming that can't be that lucrative. It's just, now I'm starting to feel bad. In my later years, as I get older, I just start to feel more sympathy for people. And when I see a guy that's just down on his luck, he's running a YouTube channel for years, he has a family to support, and he's just not making the money and not having the success that he wants, and he's lashing out at others who he looks at as lower than him and try to put them down. I want to feel the sympathy. I start to feel the sympathy, but then I'm like, what if this was somebody else? What if this was somebody else that doesn't have the mentality that I have? What if this was somebody else? And I just don't respect that at all. I don't respect that. We could have started a GoFundMe for him, MMA-Holes and family needs money. Let's put food on their table, let's pay their mortgage for a month. Let's get him back on his feet. Let's get him a job. I can teach him how to make a resume. I can show him how to run a business. I got plenty of skills that all he has to do is reach out. I could offer to help him. Maybe he could ask me for some YouTube advice. I know I'm still growing. I know I'm not some massive success story. I'm doing my own thing. But I'll tell you this, maybe I don't know what is 100% right when running a YouTube channel, but I'll tell you one thing, it's not that. It's not that. That is bad. That is real bad. That is a mess. That is a dumpster fire. That is the way the word dumpster fire was invented to describe the MMA-Holes YouTube channel. And because he's so miserable, he has to launch into attacks on others. And, oh, this guy's a fat ass. He can't say nothing about my intelligence. He can't say nothing about my content. He's just, oh, this guy's a fat ass. His chair's in pain. Well, you know what? This chair right here, this is a Herman Miller chair right here. You couldn't afford this. This would cost you 6 months of your YouTube revenue, MMA-Holes. This chair right here would cost you 6 months of your YouTube revenue, if not more. So say what you will about the chair. I think this chair is just fine. And, maybe if you had it, you could auction it off and maybe pay your mortgage or something. So that's pretty much the entire story. Again, I don't like launching into these attacks on other people because I feel like it makes you look like you're desperate for attention. I wake up every day. I've told you, if you guys have been watching this channel for a while, I wake up every day and I leave my house and I pray for a confrontation. I pray for someone to talk shit to me. I pray for someone to just bump into me and cause some bullshit so I can stir up some bullshit and have it out with them and have a good time. I enjoy these types of, altercations, whatever you want to call it, confrontations, shit talk, and I enjoy it. But that's not what this channel is. This channel is about discussing MMA, building a community of people who actually enjoy MMA and aren't a bunch of incels acting like idiots, worshiping certain fighters and biased towards certain fighters and calling everyone a casual. This channel is built around MMA. It's not about, oh, let me call this guy name and that guy names. But the fact that he's going to go out of his way to go on somebody else's channel that I know and just launch into this attack, I think it's some teenage girl type bullshit. That's what I really think it is. I think he's an embarrassment of a man. I think he needs to find a new career quick or start a new YouTube channel quick, because pretty soon, I don't know if he's got money in that savings account, but I'll tell you right now, it's dwindling. He's borrowing money from the in-laws, from what I hear. He's borrowing money from his in-laws. You didn't hear that from me, okay? But let's just say that savings account is dwindling. I feel bad for him. You know, some of you guys, this might give him a little bit of exposure. Maybe there's people in my chat that have never heard of him and never seen him, and maybe they're gonna go look him up and subscribe to his channel. If you like that type of content, I encourage you to go subscribe to his channel, because you will never see me wish on the downfall of another man. So to log into Discord today, or not really log in because you're always logged in, but to log into Discord today and see two grown men, one being in his mid-40s to early 50s, with a ginger faux hawk, discussing another grown man, insulting him and talking about his weight to another grown man. What is he worried about my appearance for? Does he want to fuck me? Is that what he wants? Because that ain't happening. That ain't happening. So I don't get it. I don't understand it. I knew, you know, literally over a dozen people probably sent this to me and asked me about it. So, you know, I wanted to get into it. I wanted to discuss it. I wanted to take it head on, because I'm just sick and tired of this type of shit happening, and then me just being like, well, look, I'm just talking about MMA. I don't care about this bullshit, because then it makes me look like a pussy. It makes me look soft, and it just ain't happening anymore. It just isn't happening. In this specific scenario where you have a direct attack at me, it's like, you know what? I got to respond to this. I got to respond to this. And, you know, that's the full story behind it. So basically, to sum it all up, a guy with a YouTube channel that has been running it for 6, 7, 8 years, 10 years, something along those lines. The channel's failing. He lashes out at me because his home life is miserable. He doesn't have the income that he would like, and he's an embarrassment to his family. He's borrowing money from his in-laws per sources, and he's taking it out on other grown men and insulting their appearances just because he has nothing else of substance to attack. You know, I may have made a little jabs at appearance in this whole spiel here, but guess what? I can also attack it on the facts. We broke it down from start to finish. I don't know what more you guys want from me. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It won't be happening much, because I just, you know, this is the end of it for me. This is the end of it. You know, Herb Dean was thinking about jumping in a couple times, and then he stopped, and then he's like, you know what? And then Keith Peterson's in his ear like, no, don't stop it yet, bro. Don't stop it yet. Finally, Herb Dean's waving it off. Herb Dean's waving it off.